This time I'll call Childress County case number 11714 in the interest of Alexis, Kylie, Anna Leos, Aubrey Casey, and Marcus Jesse Garcia Jr. Mr. Ivy, if you would like to give us the update since you filed your court report, that'd be great.
Yes, ma'am. For the update, for the drug tests that were ordered for the parents, Kayla tested positive on her hair follicle on June 25th, but then tested negative for her UA on July 2nd. Dylan tested positive for marijuana on January 20 or not or June 23rd. Then Marcus tested negative on June 17th, and Albert tested negative on June 16th.
Okay, Mr. Casey tested negative, did you say?
Dylan Casey tested positive for marijuana. The levels were very low, but it was a positive marijuana test on June 23rd.
Okay.
And Your Honor, just to make a record, I would object to the entrance of the results of the drug tests as to the truth of the matter, but not for use by the court today in making any orders or decisions on a status hearing.
All right. I'll sustain that.
And I concur with that.
Okay, Mr. Ivy, go ahead.
And then for updates on the status or on the court report, Aubrey has completed her cans on June 20th and completed her dental on June 26th. Alexis completed her cans assessment on July 7th, but her dental is still pending. And MJ has started therapy. And so with the kids, Aubrey and Alexis are doing very well in their homes. Aubrey has her little brother that she plays with. She has a good relationship with dad's girlfriend and a really good relationship with her dad. Alexis is in the same situation. She has a good relationship with her dad, and she has a little sister that's in the home with them. And they're around like the same age, so they just play together all the time. Whenever I went and visited them, they were running around the house and playing how you think little 5-year-old girls would be playing. And the LPS worker reported that she saw the same thing, that Alexis is happy in her home. MJ has struggled with the transition with going from living with mom to dad. And so we're hoping the therapy helps with that. He's told me multiple times that he's not happy and he's angry with where he's at, and he wants to go back and live with his mom, and he's just really struggling. And so I know it's put a strain on Marcus and Abigail, and I'm hoping that situation gets better just over time. But I think just because it's new and everything going on with the case, I think it's had definitely a strong effect on MJ. Visits are going good so far. There was, in the beginning, the dads were supervising the visits, but St. Francis is supervising the visits for Aubrey and MJ now. And Alexis her dad's still supervising their visits since he's out of region. I don't know if we have a way to supervise their visits unless we do them completely virtual. As far as I know, I've told Kayla that she could go, her and Albert could schedule visits in person anytime they wanted to, like once a week. And if they did do them in person, they could extend them for a 2-hour period since they live so far apart. And so I think this Saturday they're having, I believe, their first in-person visit since the removal. I have got with the dads and I texted them that I'd like the kids to meet up at least once a month so they could all see each other in person. I don't know if that's happened yet or not, but I do know that the kids do call each other via FaceTime and talk to each other, especially Aubrey and Alexis. I know they talk a lot. And there was, since the last court hearing, there was an investigation opened on Marcus And during that time, the investigation, nothing came out from Marcus and nothing negative pointed in his way, but Abigail did test positive for marijuana. So we had to put a safety plan in place to where she couldn't watch Marcus Jr. unsupervised. And I think that's all I have that I can think of off the top of my head and I got written down in my notes.
Okay. So, can anybody answer the question if the kids have gotten to have an in-person visit?
I do know that
Marcus,
Aubrey and MJ have got to see each other because when I take them to visits with their mom, I take them together. But I don't know if Alexis has gotten to see Aubrey or MJ in person.
No,
as
Your
far
Honor, they haven't. The kids haven't seen each other as far as Alexis and Aubrey and MJ, just via FaceTime and stuff like that.
Okay. Any possibility we can make that happen sometime in the next few weeks?
Yes, Your Honor. I have the contact information for the fathers, and we'll try to figure out a good plan as
Yeah,
far
we
as
should
at
do
least
it.
before school starts.
Okay. And maybe it can be in conjunction, after mom's visit or before or something. I mean, I understand we got some travel involved and all that. So, okay.
And as far as
Um,
Marcus Jr., me and Mr. Casey, we've talked about, taking them to the water park and stuff like that so they can go ahead and do a visit or stuff like that.
Okay. That's great. Okay. All right. Okay, let me just ask generally, parents, are you guys, it sounds like to some extent, everybody's working together. So, I mean, I'm kind of wanting to find out because, we kind of talked about this at our last hearing, but, is everybody working together pretty well at this point?
Yes, Your Honor. As far as the fathers, they've contacted me wanting seeing when the kids can visit and stuff like that, and I haven't had no issues.
Okay.
Let's say the father's been all pretty good in conjunction with working together.
All right. So Ms. Martinez, how's that going between you and the dads?
It's a work in progress, I guess you could say. I mean, we have our good days, we have our bad days.
Okay. I'm just asking all of you to just please keep your eye on that ball. Because it's just gonna make it so much easier for everybody. I know it's hard, but you just gotta keep in mind the kids come first. All right, Miss Grant, anything today?
Your Honor, the only thing I can think of is to ask the caseworker if those drug screens have been filed. I don't show them in my file, and I'm not finding that I was e-served, and so I'm just wondering if I missed them.
No, I haven't. Do I need to submit them to the court? Sorry, I just emailed the attorneys or all the attorneys the results.
Okay, so I would be looking then for an email from you, not an e-service, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Let me.
Okay, no, I can get it from email. That's not a problem. I just had missed it in my folder. Thank you, and that's all I had, Judge.
And we'll make sure they get e-filed as well.
Okay, and before I start going around the room, real quickly then, Mr. Ivy, have service plans been prepared and filed for all parents?
Yes, Judge.
Have they signed them?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, great. Okay, Mr. Barfield.
Your Honor, I did receive an email. I've spoken with Mr. Casey about the low-level test, and he assured me that's not going to be an issue in the future.
Well, I would actually like to talk to Mr. Barfield in a breakout if I'd get a chance, please.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on a pretty tight schedule this morning. I will let you all visit for just a second.
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, let me just do this since you're on a tight schedule, Judge. If that's not going to affect your decision right now, I can meet in a breakout room with my client after the hearing and we can leave the meeting from there unless it's going to have an adverse effect on the court's ruling at this point. I think you see where I'm going, Judge.
Yeah, no, I don't see that what I've heard is going to change anything.
Okay.
And Your Honor, I'll just note for the record that Mr. Casey was forthcoming about cannabis use prior to the case being filed, and I know that my client is not unduly concerned based on the hair test at this point.
Okay. So, Mr. Casey, are you okay to wait and talk with Mr. Barfield when we get done?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Y'all don't let me forget to do that, to put you in there when we get done.
I won't, Judge.
All right. Okay, Mr. Garcia, Ms. Riley hadn't logged in. She may be stuck somewhere else, but any concerns you have or anything you want to ask today?
As far as myself, well, I know Abigail has a retest today, so we're gonna do that after the court, Your Honor. But as far as like my son, just concerns, like I know it seems to get hard or harder whenever he does see mom or he talks to mom, because then he goes back to that mindset to where he's like, well, I don't have to listen to y'all and stuff like that. So I mean, I know it's a work in progress, and I just and I mean, like Tucker said, I just hope the therapy with Aaron helps. It's just I mean, that's the only concern or anything that I have, with my son. But other than that, I mean, he's been good and everything's been good here as far as what he tells me and what we think. I mean, as far as that, Your Honor.
Okay. Sadly, Mr. Garcia, you are experiencing, I think, what everybody with an 11-year-old and above in age experiences when you've got parents in different homes.
Yes, ma'am.
So I think the therapy will help. Is co-parenting a portion of their service plans, Mr. Ivy? If that's recommended by their counselors?
It's not in the co-parenting's not in the service plan. Is that something you'd like me to include?
Let's just see how it evolves with their individual counseling, and that it may come around to that where there's some recommendation for that later in the case. But there's other things we need to focus on first. So
Well, I was told to make the plan for the dads as minimal as possible. So the only things I put on there was to stay in contact with me and for their drug testing.
I understand. It may be that with more because of Marcus Jr.'s age, it may be that Mr. Garcia and Ms. Martinez really might benefit down the road in this case from some co-parenting. And it's, because it addresses how do we maintain the same rules in different households, and how do we have kids have the same expectations, in both places, and how difficult it is when they have very different expectations and very different rules in each household. So I'm not saying we have to do it at this moment, but Mr. Garcia and Ms. Martinez, just understand that may be something that I ask you all to do at some point in time. We'll see how this rocks along and how this evolves.
Your Honor, may I ask if the service plans have been e-filed? I don't seem to have those either.
He indicated they had been filed.
Okay.
Do believe I filed them.
Okay, thank you.
You may just need to make sure, Mr. Ivy, you got everybody on a service contacts, because there's so many people involved in this. I could see how you could miss somebody.
Yes, Judge.
But we'll make sure that, Ms. Grant, that you all see those.
No problem. I just wanted to see if they were email or e-filed. I will locate them, Judge. Thank you.
All right. Ms. Seal.
Your Honor, I think the only other thing we had talked about at the adversary was possibly filing or consolidating and transferring all of the AG orders for child support into this case. And I know Mr. Leos was asking about that when we visited yesterday. So that would be the only other thing I would like to have some insight on.
I
Ms.
don't
Seals
know.
stole my thunder, Your Honor. We were going to make the same motion. We filed the paperwork, I believe, so we would join in that motion.
Okay, so those motions have been filed.
That's my understanding. I confirmed that with my legal assistant this morning. I think we did that yesterday. So with that, we would ask to transfer and consolidate.
Okay, I just need the orders and that'll be done.
Thank you.
Now, once we get that done, do we need to suspend some child support obligations?
Yes, Judge, that would be my request on behalf of my client.
As any child support obligation owed by my client as well, we would request would be suspended if there is any.
So once we get those consolidated, counsel, I mean, I think I indicated to you, if any of the fathers are paying child support to mom, if you all will want to do withholding order, terminating, and or if Mr. Graff wants to present those, but you know, it's this court's intent to suspend those support obligations, not redirect them to the department, but to suspend those, you know, till we see the outcome of all this.
And Your Honor, this was a case that one or more of the fathers actually have arrearages they need to continue paying on. So I wanted to make sure that the fathers understand that they still have to pay the arrearages they're already due.
Yeah, I mean, I will, you know, that will never be part of my order to affect anything having to do with the arrears, only current ongoing child support or medical support.
Thank you, Judge.
And Your Honor, I misspoke. They haven't been filed, but my assistant informs me we will be filing those today.
Okay. So it is my intent to suspend those. So once we get them consolidated, if we will follow up then with orders, the appropriate orders to suspend any current and or current child support or medical support.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, Ms. Seal, anything else?
No, Your Honor, that would be all.
Okay, and so Ms. Sapien.
Thank you, Judge. And Your Honor, Ms. Stevens has provided to me her report, which I will give to all of you. I think some of it has already been covered, and so if it has, I'll try to note that as I'm talking.
Sure.
In regards to the girls, she reports that they do miss their mom, but that they are happy and thriving in their current home. Dads are doing a great job of supporting their emotions and being kind about mom. Her only recommendation, which I think I heard some talk about this earlier, is to have in-person visitation time with mom as soon as possible for the girls. And then she moves on to Marcus, which I'm gathering we call MJ. So in regards to MJ, she says she does have some serious concerns about what's going on. And I have heard, obviously, that commentary today. Marcus reported to Bethany that he has been grounded since the investigation opened regarding stepmom. That he reported to CPS that he heard his dad say that stepmom uses marijuana. So Bethany is concerned that he is still grounded for being honest. Of course, that report is coming from MJ. He acknowledges that he has trouble listening, but that he is trying really hard to start listening better. And it sounds like counseling is going to get started, so hopefully that will help. Bethany is recommending more than 1 hour of visitation with mom, since he is missing her so much. She's renewing her recommendation that dad and stepmom take parenting classes, anger management, and she requested drug testing, but it sounds like that's already been done with stepmom. And and she is asking the court to consider exploring other possible kinship placements for Marcus because things are not getting better with him. She's also recommending counseling, which it sounds like that's being started. I believe you said with Aaron. She's asking that the court admonish Mr. Garcia that there not be any retaliation against Marcus today for his reporting to Bethany regarding the grounding. And additionally, she is planning on giving MJ a notebook so that he can make notes about anything he wants to talk to her or Casa about. And she is requesting that the court make it clear to Mr. Garcia that that notebook is MJ's property and he should not confiscate that notebook or read it.
Okay, I'm gonna hold off on some of the things of the anger management, the parenting. I think it's really more of an issue of co-parenting, but which we've already talked about. I am going to permit her to provide the child with a notebook in which to document or make notes of things he wishes to talk to his attorney and or to CASA about. Mr. Garcia, I will tell you that that is a private book and no one else in the household should have access to that, should look at it. That is the child's personal book, and to some extent it would be attorney-client privilege.
Yes, ma'am, I
So,
understand, Your Honor.
so that's to be his and his only, and no one else is to look at that.
Yes, ma'am, I understand. And as just based on hearing that, he wasn't grounded for that. He was grounded because he wasn't following the rules, as such as like eating in his room and like hiding food under his bed. That's why he was grounded.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. There are some things what you just said to me there that I think need to be addressed in counseling. You know, why is he hiding food? Why is he, you know, there are some things.
Yes,
Well,
ma'am.
there's some red flags to me when children do those things, but you know, we'll let the counselor handle that.
Yes, ma'am. We've relayed that to Miss Souter as well from Wellington. She's the one that runs the counseling.
Okay. All right. Okay, yeah, it's, you know, we are in a situation where we need children to be honest with us and to, you know, to feel like they can honestly tell, you know, professionals what's on their mind or what they're feeling and what concerns they have or fears or, you know, what they're happy about. I mean, it's not all just the negative stuff, it's the good stuff too. And so, you know, obviously there should be no repercussion or punishment for a child for being honest about something that's going on in the household. So I have no problem with disciplining kids for other issues. You know, I think that's appropriate, but when it comes to this case and their ability to talk with the people they need to talk to, you know, I don't want anything that would impinge on their ability to do that.
Your Honor, my client is very interested in going ahead and starting co-parenting, specifically with for her and Mr. Garcia separately, and then possibly some classes together down the road. They have had a particularly difficult time co-parenting, and it's our concern that perhaps MJ is struggling with just the different parenting styles that he's experiencing versus anybody doing anything wrong, and that perhaps co-parenting could get them in a more common style of parenting, which would be beneficial to the child.
I think that, I mean, and we've talked about this already, but I think that it's appropriate for them to start addressing that in their individual therapy and then move into true co-parenting. And I very much see that on the horizon. But I think we need to
Thanks, the
start,
judge.
let's start with their individual therapists and, you know, that's kind
And
of
she
the normal
also,
course.
and I didn't mean to interrupt you, Judge.
No, it's all right.
She also is very interested in an increase in visitation with MJ, supervised, of course, the same as it has been, in order to give him a little bit more contact with her and maybe ease his mind a little bit that things are fine and everybody's working their services, and give him a more positive feedback from each side.
All right, Mr. Ivy, do you see any problem with trying to maybe increase the time with MJ?
No, I do know that Kayla is about to start a job that's out of state, I believe on the 28th. And so if she's fine with increasing it virtually or for virtual visits, then I'm fine with that.
Okay, let's just see what we can figure out, you know, as long as it's positive. And Ms. Martinez, I mean, I will just tell you that you and Mr. Garcia both, you know, it may be painful, but you need to prop each other up right now. You know, that will help Marcus more than anything if he hears positive things from each of you about the other parent. You know, and not just refraining from the negative, but, you know, positive remarks, you know, mom's working hard mom's working real hard on her issues, and, you know, dad's doing a good job and you are fine there, you're safe, you know, you just got to let it give a little time and adjust, and you're going to be okay. I mean, that's the kind of stuff he needs to hear. So it's not just refraining from being negative, but it's also propping each other up.
Your Honor, I do my very best on doing that after every visit because he does get a little hesitant to want to go back, and I say nothing but good things about his dad. I haven't said bad things about any of their fathers because they are a part of them, and I don't want my children to think that I look at them any type of way because I want my kids to have their dads in their life. It means that that's more valuable to me than anything. And so I do my best when it comes to MJ. It's just my kids have known me, like I've been the only parent there for all of their life, you know? So it is just an adjustment issue, I believe.
Yeah, and I think he will, as long as he's given positive reinforcement. Okay, Casa, need to hear from y'all. I'm sorry, I'm running behind already, but I want to hear from Casa.
You're good. We have visited with all three kids in their homes. We do not have any concerns there. MJ did not express those concerns to me, but we will be going back out here in the next 2 weeks probably to visit all of them. And so I will try to get with him and talk and kind of see what he's got going on. I do agree with Miss Grant. I think that co-parenting could really benefit, and it really helped the kids. I agree with therapy for MJ too. If he is struggling, that would be the best thing for him, I think. But as of right now, no concerns, and we will continue visiting.
Okay, appreciate you.
And Your Honor, I'm sorry, one more request. We would ask again that Mr. Garcia be admonished that Miss Martinez must ask him for things in order to co-parent, and so far the response she's been getting is that she has no right to, and she's in no position to ask him for anything, but she must approach him, and we must be able to ask for things. And so we would just request a more open mind when we ask for things, even if the answer is no. I need her to feel comfortable in approaching him and asking for things that are needed where the children are concerned, or if she needs to call or anything like that. But right now we're not progressing where we need to be in reactions to one another.
Asking for what kind of things? I guess I'm not.
Your Honor,
Sorry, I'm
go ahead.
sorry.
Go
That's
ahead, Ms.
okay.
Grant.
I'm sorry, Mr. Garcia. I didn't mean to talk over
No,
you.
Ms. Grant, go ahead.
Just if if there could be, if there could be a FaceTime call or anything that's asked for, communication, is just not good right now. And it's just a statement that was reported to me and the context wasn't given. So I'm just asking these parents to understand they have to be able to speak to one another and do it amicably.
Okay, I assume you mean a FaceTime call between mother and father, because the visitation calls would be monitored.
Those are
correct?
with the child, correct, Judge. It's just the parent, the feedback that Miss Martinez is getting from Mr. Garcia is still very judgmental and still very accusatory in tone, perhaps. I'm not sure. I'm not trying to throw Mr. Garcia under the bus. I'm just saying that we're not progressing, and I'm just asking that everybody try to speak kind to one another and approach each other with open minds.
And just my input on that, Your Honor. Me and Miss Martinez, we really don't communicate. I communicate through Tucker if I have anything or if she has anything, but she's never really asked me anything about, anything, honestly. I don't remember the last time I've spoken to Miss Martinez.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Garcia.
Okay, well, I don't think I could make it any more clear what the court expects of parents, to be supportive of each other, to be respectful, to be civil, because it's anything but that just doesn't do any good. Period. Paragraph. Okay, I need to talk to parents real quickly about service plans. I'm going to order your service plans as an order of the court today. What that means is that obviously I expect you to work those services, and failure to work those services can result in, kids not coming home or kids being removed from a home. So it's very important that y'all, do what is in those plans, work your way through them. And, I very much see the co-parenting on the horizon with respect to Mr. Garcia and Ms. Martinez, but that needs to start, like I said, with individual therapy. So we'll start there and then we'll just work our way through it. All right, then, for today, I will find that we will continue the department as temporary managing conservator and continue the children's placements. I find a continuing danger to return the children home to the mother today. We will order the service plans as an order of the court. I will suspend any current and ongoing child support and medical support once these cases are consolidated. And I will see you all back for the initial permanency hearing on November 4th of 2025. That'll be on a 9 o'clock docket. Obviously, the department will continue to use reasonable efforts to reunify the families. All right, I appreciate each of you. Good luck with your services, and please, like I said, keep your eye on the ball, and that means the children.
Judge, breakout room for
And
me.
I'll set you guys up in your breakout room.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Judge.
And everybody else is free to go.
Thank you, Judge.
The department versus Stephanie Finley. We are here on a request for court-ordered services today. We're conducting this through Zoom. We are live streaming, and I'm recording to the Zoom clouds. If you need a copy, let me know. All right, we'll go ahead and take announcements.
Thank you, Your Honor. Counsel Jean Graff and Brittany Perez on behalf of the department, present and ready to proceed.
Lauren Lucero on behalf of the mother, Stephanie Finley, Your Honor. I believe she's on screen, but we're ready. I believe we have an agreement, but there's just one issue I wanted to discuss with Mr. Graff if possible.
Sure.
No objection.
Stacy Zavala on behalf of the children.
All right, then. So, Mr. Graff, if you want to go ahead and announce what's agreed, and then we'll talk about whatever issue Ms. Lucero needs to discuss.
Thank you, Your Honor. We have an agreement by the mother to work drug services, OSAR, individual counseling, parenting classes, RBT, psychosocial, and a psychosocial evaluation. I believe that's all the services. And I think what Ms. Lucero would like to discuss is there's a visitation issue, which we may have resolved, but I'll defer to counsel on that issue. But as far as I understand, that is what mother is agreeing to at this time.
Okay.
And Your Honor, that like I stated, Miss Finley has agreed to work those services. Right now, she doesn't have any type of contact or visits with the kids, but it's my understanding once she provides a clean UA and a hair follicle where the numbers are decreasing, that she will at least be permitted to have a supervised contact with the children. And I'm just making sure that's what's on the table.
Yes, that's our understanding as well. There were concerns at the time the case was filed about fentanyl. I think we have a hair test now that has indicated that that's not a current issue, but I need to defer to Ms. Perez. We were prepared to be offering virtual visits, but I think now we're just requesting supervised visits unless my client tells me I have it wrong.
No, that is correct. She was having no contact at the initial time due to the concerns of the drug, I guess, admission. And so we did no contact, but she did have visits with like FaceTime as well as phone calls. And so we do plan on amending and changing the safety plan.
Great, thank you.
Okay, so make sure I understand correctly. So we're already at a point, we're ready to let her start having supervised in-person contact?
That is my understanding, yes.
Okay.
Right, Your Honor, and that's the only issue we had to address today besides the agreement, so she's
Okay.
ready.
Okay. So sounds like we're all on the same page then.
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Zavala, you good with that?
I am in agreement as well.
Very good. Okay, then, Ms. Finley, I appreciate you agreeing to do these things. You know, we hope that they will be helpful. We're here to help you. You know, a lot of people think that we're all the enemy. We're not. You know, we want life to be better for you and your kids, and we want to get you in a good place where you don't find yourself in this situation again. So, you know, we will work with you if you work with us, and this will all have a good outcome. Okay, you're muted, but I can tell what you were saying to me. It's okay. So we'll get the in-person visitation set up so you can start having that contact with the children. All right, then I will sign the order for participation when that's presented to me and approve the services that have been outlined by the department. And I will see you back for a compliance hearing. That'll be on October 7th of 2025. That'll be on a 9 o'clock docket. They'll make sure you have the new Zoom link and everything for that. So hope everything goes really well between now and then. And, you know, on these services cases, our goal is to get in and try to help get, you know, let's get the ship afloat again and then get out. So, you know, we want to try to do that in like a 6-month period of time, you know. So a lot of how long we're involved is kind of dependent on you and getting everything done and making sure we've got everything in order. So I wish you luck for the next few months, and we'll do a check-in in October and see how things are going. Okay. Okay. All right. I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Your Honor. Your Honor, it's my last matter with you this morning. With your permission, I'll sign off now.
Absolutely, sir. Have a
Thank you.
good rest of your week.
You too, ma'am. Thank you.
Uh-huh.